Mel Robbins is a fraud. Mel Robbins is guilty of plagiarism. Mel Robins, Letthem, that beautiful poem that 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips wrote. She stole those words, she stole that theory, and she ran off with it and became a millionaire. On her podcasts, the books she's written, she's been on Oprah, she's swimming in the do-re-mi. And she didn't have a thing to do with it. Now, why this really bothers me is because I myself am a poet. I have written over 36 books. I don't plagiarize. All of my books are my own words. I don't steal anything from anyone. A few days ago, I did a video, Let Them Lose You. And in that video, I read 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips' poem. It's a great poem. And I told everyone on that video that it was 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips' poem. I credited the woman who wrote those words. But before I could do that, I was going to make the worst mistake of my life. I was going to credit Mel Robins, pictured here on her podcast. I was going to credit her for that poem during my video. So I Googled Letthem, and of course Mel Robins comes up. And other people have come up who I didn't know who they were. There was this old woman in her 80s, a YouTuber, and she did a video called Letthem. And so just out of curiosity, I clicked on that, and she said, I'm going to read you this poem that means a lot to me and has helped me in my life. It's a great poem by 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips. And she read the poem, Letthem. And I was like perplexed. I was like dumbfounded. I said, wait a minute. What do you mean, 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips? Mel Robins wrote that poem. Mel Robins has books out, Letthem. Mel Robins, her whole podcast is about Letthem. Every time I see a TikTok, every time I see an Instagram, every time I see a Facebook reel, it's Mel Robins Letthem. What do you mean, 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips? So then I Googled 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips. I Googled the poem Letthem. And when I Googled the poem Letthem, 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips' name was there. 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips is not some millionaire like Mel Robins. 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips wasn't on the Oprah Winfrey Show. 𝗥𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃 Phillips, isn't swimming in the do-re-mi. Mel Robins